Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is Crypto Elite, home to the #1 Theta community. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. And you can find me on Theta TV as well. All right, guys, in today's video, we are going to be going over a brief, broad overview of what is the Theta network. We'll talk about some of the cryptos, some of the network itself, how it began. We'll just do a broad overview of all of it. And yes, I know it is a big picture overview, and a lot of people are very familiar with Theta, but I think this is more geared towards people who are just getting into Theta. It is a 2022 recap of all things Theta, and this one is actually brought to you by Atomic Wallet. Not sponsored content whatsoever, but once again, doing my research, and I stumbled across this, and I thought it was actually really good to talk about because I haven't done a broad overview in a very, very long time, and I know there's a lot of new users out there who just want to know about the crypto. So that is what we'll talk about. Once again, thank you Atomic Wallet for creating this. And if you're unfamiliar, atomicwallet.io/academy, they have all sorts of guides. So not only just Theta Network, but Chainlink, they have Ethereum Classic. Just if you want to learn about all things crypto, this is a good place to go. And this actually was a very good guide. There was a couple things that I found that were not 100% correct, but I think 90% of the stuff in here is really good. So we'll talk about the good, and then I will correct some of the things that aren't up to speed. But like I said, this is overall a really, really good guide. So Theta, first, they start talking about the content delivery networks, which are geographically located networks of operators are paid to deliver video stream content to end users. And then due to being restricted by their locations, existing CDNs can't keep up with the increasing high quality streams. Now, this is not only true for just video, but it's also true for audio. It's also true for just all sorts of anything that you browse on the internet. We have different CDNs out there and different providers out there. Some of the larger ones are Akamai, which is, I believe, the world's largest at this time provider, and they do a very good job. So the internet or the website that you may be looking at right now, it could be provided through Akamai. Another very popular one is Fastly. So there's a lot of these CDNs out there, and not to say that they don't do a good job, but because of the increasing demands of 4K, 8K, VR, all the things are upcoming, that's when these CDNs will start to struggle a little bit. And that's when the bandwidth costs will start to go up exponentially for everyone who wants to display that content or provide that content. And that is where Theta becomes a solution for all of those upcoming very, very high quality bandwidth, data intensive videos and streams in the future. So that is one reason. So central to running the operation on blockchain, Theta boasts two native currencies. There's the Theta token for voting on changes on the protocol, and there's also TFUEL, which is good for executing transactions. So those are the two main the coin and token on the Theta ecosystem. There's also a third one, which you may be familiar with, which is T-Drop, but that is more of a TNT20 token on the Theta blockchain, specifically for the Theta Drop NFT website. So that is something that is somewhat separate. And then we'll talk about the background. So Theta was co-founded by Mitch Salou and J.E. Long. And if you go to the thetatoken.org website, you can see it in the leadership over here. So Mitch Salou is a co-founder and CEO, and J.E. Long is the co-founder and CTO, Chief Tech Officer. And you can check out some of their background over here. I won't go into it in depth, but it is all provided here. And they both have very renowned backgrounds, and it does show with not only the Theta network themselves, but how far they've taken it in such a short period of time. So that is the co-founder and the background. And also, not only does it have two awesome leaders, but it has a pretty modest team. And this is not one of the blockchain teams that has 100 people. It actually has a very small team of people, which can be good and also bad at the same time. So as you can imagine, a smaller team, they can't accomplish as much in a short period of time, but at the same time, you don't want a humongous team who is doing everything themselves. So you want to pull in developers to the ecosystem, and you want other developers, third-party developers, if you will, to continue to build on the ecosystem. So there are pros and cons with both methods, but that is how the Theta network operates currently. And also, they have a lot of strategic corporate investors, and we will talk about some of those more in the future. Next, we will talk about some of the tokenomics. So Theta has two tokens. One technically is a coin, the other is a token. Theta, the coin itself, exists for governance purposes, with 5 TFUEL tokens were issued per 1 Theta. And that happened way back in 2019. And since then, due to inflation, which we'll talk about here in a second, there is now more than that initial 5 billion. So Theta itself launched in 2018. At the time, it was distributed as an ERC20 token on Ethereum. And that is the main difference in a nutshell. A token is a cryptocurrency that is part of a blockchain. So Theta initially was a token on the Ethereum blockchain, but now it is its own individual blockchain. So Theta technically is a coin. Fun fact there. So the total supply of Theta is capped at 1 billion coins more than tokens, and we can see that on coinmarketcap.com. This is a very easy way to see the max supply. So certain cryptocurrencies, they have this bar over here, and you can see the circulating supply and then the max supply. And if the bar has not filled all the way, or if there is no bar, that means that there still is the circulating supply is being released. So Theta, as we can see, there is 1 billion coins, and all 1 billion of those coins have been fully released, which is really, really cool. And then TFUEL on the other end is used to power transactions similar to gas on Ethereum. And the total supply is 5.3 billion tokens at the time. So very similar. If you go to ThetaFuel or TFUEL, you can scroll over and see that, yes, there's about 5.3 TFUEL tokens out there. And one reason why TFUEL is higher than initial when it first came out is because of inflation. Good, bad, or indifferent, there is a lot of inflation with TFUEL, to the point where a lot of people were very shocked and in awe that the US inflation CPI number hit 9.1%, but potentially 9% could be the standard for TFUEL. And that's why there's, like I said, pros and cons to TFUEL, but 9% is realistic, because if you look at this is the white paper for the Theta 3.0, the TFUEL source, there's inflation, 5% inflation for staking Theta, and there's also a brand new 2 to 4% inflation for uptime mining. So at maximum, there could be a 9% inflation number. However, there is also TFUEL burning, so at least 25% of each TFUEL payment on the network will be burned. So there is a little bit of burning along with that heavy inflation, which kind of assists. So that is TFUEL in a nutshell, that token. And then the technology itself, it allows developers to build decentralized applications on top of this blockchain. And there's a couple different groups that run the entire network. The first group is the enterprise and individual validator nodes. And these are participating companies that stake the tokens or coins so that in return, they can have the right to process transactions on the network. Now, if we check out the thetatoken.org and scroll down just a tad, we can see these are some of the validator nodes. Your Google, your Sony, your Samsung, CAA, Binance, they are humongous names, which is fantastic for the network. There's also Guardian nodes and Edge nodes, and these can be ran by us, individuals, to make it decentralized. So the Guardian nodes are used who do work to ensure that the transaction blocks proposed by the enterprise validator nodes are correct. And then lastly, the Edge nodes are users share their unused bandwidth or assist in relaying streams over the Theta network and receive TFUEL. So that is the tech behind it. There's also micropayments and a Theta token minter. You can check out one of my previous videos. I walk you through how to create a token. You can create a brand new TNT20 token from scratch. It's actually quite easy, which is very, very neat to see. It's a modified BFT, and that's because it's a proof of stake governance mechanism. And I won't nerd out on that all too much, but proof of stake is definitely, it has been proven to have benefits, especially environmental benefits over proof of work blockchains. So that in summary, not to make this video too long, I guess the last thing that I will hit on is that it is 100% Ethereum compatible, and you can check that out on some of my previous videos, as well as this Medium article that shows that Theta blockchain is now compatible with Ethereum RPC API Suite, MetaMask, development tools, Truffle, Hardhat, and Remix. But in summary, guys, I thought, like I said, this was a very, very good overview of the entire Theta blockchain, and this is brought to you by Atomic Wallet, not sponsored content, but I thought they did a good job. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.